Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to do two things, and that's create a Christmassy set, and we are also going to be putting to the test these really cute looking base coat and matte top coat from the company called Mylee. But the actual gels are called My Gel, so it says My Gel by Mylee, and we are going to be testing the base coat and we are going to test the matte top coat. So the reason we are testing both of those is because they actually came in a pack of two, so it came as a little set. It's a shame you couldn't also order a actual glossy top coat, because it would be nice to test all three of those, because this set that we are going to do today actually will consist of both a glossy top coat, a normal matte top coat and a base coat, so that's a shame. But since we don't have those, we will just test the two of those that we have, and then we're just going to use any random glossy top coat that we have for today's set. So as you can see, I'm just showing you guys the bottles, kind of the consistency when taking it out of the bottle. And when it comes to the bottles, overall they appear very cute looking, very sleek, very nice. I quite like the way they look. They have all the kind of like instructions and what it is kind of thing at the back. At the front, it just tells you what it is. It's a base coat, how many mils. So both of those are 15 mils, which is really nice. And yeah, it's just good old packaging really. So as you can see, I've already buffed my press on nails, and I also applied some nail cleaner, and we are ready to apply our base coat. So first things first, with this base coat, when I was actually taking it out of the bottle just to test the consistency from the bottle, I kind of thought it was very runny for some reason. I thought it was very runny, and that's kind of what I'm used to. I normally use Vanilla base coats and like Cloud Beauty base coats and all of that kind of stuff, and they are more on the cheaper side, so they are all runny, but that's what the kind of thing I was used to, so I kind of thought this was what it was. But when I started applying it onto the nail, the consistency, it's so much more thicker than I was expecting, which I don't actually know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if base coats are normally thicker when you get them like branded and kind of like in a better quality kind of thing or what, but I wasn't used to it, so I did realize that it's definitely on the thicker side. It did kind of make my personnel drag when I was painting them on. It kind of made it come off the stand a little bit because of how thick it was, so I'm not sure if that was a good thing or not. Let me know guys if you guys buy branded expensive base coats and if they're also thick or not. But yeah, but other than that, I don't really see any other issues. It appeared quite nice. I could probably say that because it is on the thicker side, it might actually be nicer, because if there are some uneven bumps and lumps on the nail when applying the base coat, it might actually fill in nicely and not actually have any bumps on there. Because I know sometimes with the press-on nails, when you buff them and stuff like that, there can be sometimes residue left, and there might be some bumps sometimes. So this could be sometimes a nice little trick, I guess, if they're thicker and it kind of like, you know, kind of evens out maybe better. I did also realize that I wasn't expecting it to be thick, so I did feel like I was using more of the base coat than I should, just because I wasn't expecting it to be that thick, so I was kind of putting more than I probably should have. But yeah, overall for now, base coat, good reviews I reckon. Just not sure about the consistency, but if you guys let me know in the comments, that would be absolutely amazing. So now going back to our set, as you can see, I applied a red colour on the thumb, the index and the middle finger. For the ring finger, we applied my absolute favourite nude colour, and it's from Cloud Beauty, and it's in the shade number N17. It's absolutely amazing. I definitely use it in almost every single set of mine on this channel. Pretty much every time you see a nude, it's about 95% of a chance that it is that gel polish. So it's definitely my massive favourite until I probably find a new one, but for the time being it is that one. And I am now going in with my trusty good old platinum gel polish from, oh, I forgot where it's from, but I showed you guys at the beginning. So I'm just using some brushes. At the beginning I used a different brush, and I'm using a different one again. The other one was a bit stiff, and I kind of wanted something that I can play about with, and this one was a bit more up my alley, like a longer one. Longer and thinner one. Felt like I had more control over the gel polish. So this is what the set is looking like so far. It's going into the lamp, and we can now start applying our second coat. So I'm going in again with that platinum gel polish. It's quite hard to apply it. I'm not sure why. Maybe I just need to buy actually proper nail art brushes that I can apply gel polish with, not just nail art ones, because I don't actually have any, so I usually just opt for anything I have, and it's not always the easiest. And also with this gel polish, I just really like it, very concentrated, and I want it to be very, you know, sparkly and no clear areas. And it's quite hard with this one, so I like to spend a bit more time on it and focus the sparkly bits where I want it with the brush. But that's what that one's looking like. We are applying the second coat of the nude, and we'll be also applying the second coat of that red, and we will pop the whole set into the lamp. I'm not too sure how I feel about this set. I definitely did a bit of a mess up when it comes to a snowflake later on. So for the index finger, we'll be making a snowflake. And I wanted to try this new trick that I realised people are doing, so I went ahead and did that. So I'll show you guys that closer to when I'll be showing you that bit. But I went ahead and decided to do that trick, which is all well and good, still looks quite nice, but because of that trick, my snowflakes came out so much more bigger than the other hand when I did it. And I don't know how I didn't realise it, and I just popped it into the lamp, and now I've got one hand with a massive snowflake on it, and the other hand are very petite, cute little ones. So not ideal. Both are nice. I do think I prefer the smaller ones, so I feel like that technique is definitely good, but it does require a little bit of practice just to know where to put your dots and stuff. But never mind. Still looks fairly good, to be honest. But yeah, it just looks quite funny next to each other now, because one hand has a bigger one and one hand has a smaller one. So yeah, if you guys do end up recreating any of my sets, don't forget to tag me. If you're posting on Instagram or anywhere, don't forget to tag me. I love seeing you guys recreate my stuff, and yeah, it just makes me really happy that you guys are following them, and it's, you know, you guys are like learning something from me, which makes me really happy. So right now I'm just applying some top coat, and I am applying that top coat onto the pinky finger and the thumb. And that's just because that thumb and the pinky are done now. I'm going to leave them how it is. And yeah, I just like to apply that and just get over and done with, just in case. I just always don't like getting any fluffs in there and stuff. So as soon as it's done, I want to apply the top coat, smack it right into the lamp, and have it over and done with. So here is now the trick that I was talking about. So with a dotting tool, I was popping down the dots, and then I'm going to connect them with a nail art brush, and then we're just going to create lines, basically connecting them all, which is an amazing idea. But like I said, I just made the snowflakes way too large, and yeah, it just didn't match. But if the other hand had the same thing, then it would have been amazing, but never mind. But as you can see, I did one big dot in the middle, followed by two dots on the top, the bottom, the right hand side and the left hand side, and in between those I did one dot. And then I dip my nail art brush into some white, and I just connect them from the middle dot to the ones from the sides, and that's about it. So it's a very good technique if you guys want to create snowflakes. I actually did it the other way around before, so I'd normally do the actual lines and then I would pop the dots in, which is also not the worst, but I do find this one a bit more easier, because at least you're aware of how large those dots will be, and when you do tiny little snowflakes and then suddenly you have to put dots in there, you kind of find yourself sometimes thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to put the dots in there, because the snowflake's way too small. So I definitely find myself doing that sometimes. And then with the bottom snowflake, it's kind of wanted it to be a slightly smaller one, less dots, more of like a petite one, but it doesn't look too much petite. If you were to look on the other hand I did, it was a way more petite than that. But yeah, so I was happy with that. I'm going in with a dotting tool, and just around those snowflakes I'm doing little dots just to fill in the areas and make it look kind of cuter, even cuter than it is already. I'm popping that one onto the lamp, and now we can work on the middle one. So for the middle one, we are going to do like a sweater look using acrylic like clear powder and stuff like that. So right now we can start working on the matte top coat, so we can see how the consistency is. In the bottle, I don't know if you guys realised in the beginning of the video, but when I was kind of like swiveling it around in there, it looked very cloudy, which was a bit worrying to me, because I was worried that it's going to mute down my colour and not be the best. But when applying that onto the nail, it seemed fine. I feel like the consistency is the same as any other matte top coat I use, which is a good sign. And yeah, for the matte top coat, absolutely nothing bad to say. It performed really well. I really like it. You get so much for the price I paid. I can't remember how much I paid now, but I will link it down in the description. I did get this from Amazon, so I'm sure you guys, if you guys wanted it, I'm sure you guys can find it on Amazon too. But I will leave a link down in the description. And yeah, I'm really happy with them. Really happy. From this company, Mylee. I think that is how you say it, Mylee. I've only ever had the nail cleaner liquid, so it's called a nail prep and polish wipe, and that's the only thing I've ever had from their company, so I was quite excited to try it, try the base coat and the matte top coat from them, because I don't know how I didn't realize they had other nail stuff. I mean, if they do nail wipes, they probably have more nail stuff, but I just never thought of it. I always buy their nail cleaners, but none of their other products. So far, good review in my opinion. So this is what the set is looking like so far. It is now out of the lamp. As you can see, the middle finger is all nice and matte, no streaks. Everything looks absolutely amazing. I applied a top coat onto the index finger. And now we can work on the middle finger. And so for the middle finger, I did 2 lines going from the top right to the bottom of the nail. From either side. I believe I took it off camera for a minute because I found it really hard to do those lines as straight as possible whilst being on camera. And now that the nail is back, we are just creating like little lines on the sides, either side of the nail. So we're going to do it on the right hand side and the left hand side. And then on the middle of the nail, we're going to do that zigzaggy kind of thing that everyone does on these sweater kind of nails, which is probably my favorite part of doing those sweater nails, doing the middle bit, the zigzag kind of thing going on. I don't know what quite went wrong with this nail. I feel like maybe if I did 2 coats of the gel polish before applying the clear, it would be more noticeable, because right now you can't really see what I'm doing. You can only see the reflection like shining off of it because it's a wet gel polish. You can kind of see what I'm actually painting, but yeah, that's a bit of a shame. But with the acrylics, I am using a clear acrylic from Glitterbels. So it is expensive. I mean expensive. It's just an average price for acrylics. I'm sure you can get cheaper alternatives if you're only doing kind of these kind of nails, just press-on nails or just nails. Just you literally need a tiny little pot. I think they can do smaller pots, but I do have this massive pot because I am really wanting to get into acrylics. So I got big stuff and I wanted to get into it, but at the moment I don't have time. But one day for sure I will go in there and give it a good swirl. But for the time being, I'm into my press-on nails and I'm into my art, so I'm just going to ride with it for now. So as you can see, there's my little pot and my little, I don't know, scooper. And I start chucking all of that clear powder all over the nail, caking as much of it on as possible. Now you can start to see the design pop because the powder just goes in between those art that we just basically put on there, so you can see what I did on there a bit more clearer. But once it does come out of the lamp and I brush it through and I get rid of the excess glitter, it does kind of disappear again a little bit. So if that also happens to you guys sometimes, it might quite be nice to go over that design again, over those lines you did, and reapply the red and reapply the clear acrylic powder, and it will make it stand out so much more. That's sometimes what I do if my design kind of like doesn't look as good and doesn't really stand out as much as I would like it to. And then we're working on the ring finger. This is what it's looking like. I popped the sparkly rose gold kind of thing on top of that red. And now for that finger, once it's out of the lamp, we are going to go in with some white and we're going to apply a straight line going right from the top right to the bottom, but on the left hand side of the nail. And then we are going to do a line going the opposite direction, but going from the top of the nail. So something basically that we did with the red is just going to be flipped kind of thing. And then this is what it's looking like. We are going to pop that one into the lamp. And now that it is out, we are going to apply the glossy top coat. So in this set, we've only got one matte top coat and the rest are all glossy. Just applying that bad boy on. And then once that's on, we can pop it into the lamp. And our set is basically finished, ready to go. And yeah, so don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!